Today we're talking about the 5 core principles that make the INFJ come out on top. INFJs have the ability to create an amazing life for themselves, in particular when it comes to this time and age, because it's all about individuality, it's all about self-actualization, and we have every single tool we need in order to create everything we always wanted. The point though is that we recognize that for us INFJs, the game looks different. For us, there are some certain principles that we have to not only adapt, but actually live. Once INFJs not only accept those principles, but lean into it, they create the best life they could ever imagine. So today we're looking into the 5 core principles that will make all of that happen for you. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Principle number 1, accept the fact that you play outside the system. For the longest, I had a problem with this because it meant I would not belong. We all yearn for belonging. We all yearn to be part of something bigger, to have connections. But the truth is, if we want to play in the system, if we want to play by the rules that everybody is playing, it will consequentially mean that we have to alter ourselves. We have to pretend we're somebody else. We have to play a role. And we've all done that. But no matter how great we are at playing this role, we will never be able to tap into our potential. Our potential lies in our truth, and our truth just doesn't fit the bill. And that's okay. The moment you really accept this and accept what comes with it, which means, people are not going to accept you all the time. There are going to be people who think you're weird, but you're not looking for their recognition anymore. You decide once and for all, I'd rather be disliked for who I am than to be liked for something or somebody I'm not. And that's it. Because once you recognize this, you really stop looking for shortcuts. You stop looking for ways to get any kind of recognition because of what you can do. You actually start liking yourself because there is no other way around. And you recognize whatever you're going to do, tapping into your potential will always mean that you will go against the grain. And that's okay. And that's actually the best thing that could have ever happened to you. Principle number 2, accepting the current reality. INFJs are incredibly good at dissociating from the current reality. And this is something that can save us. This is something that allows us not to get into every conflict. It allows us to heal trauma when we need to. So this is a coping mechanism, but it's also something that is holding us back if we're not using it intentionally. So what does that look like? Well, we have to look at it this way. What does your life currently look like? What are you not liking about your life? What do you want to improve? That is all about accepting reality. We INFJs, we live in our mind, and this is the thing that actually keeps us afloat. This is also the reason why we're not taking real action, because there's always this thought in our mind, oh, it's going to get better. Something will show up that will just improve my life. Something will come along, somebody will come into my life, something that will make me feel alive finally. But that's not the case. In order for us to start creating the life we always wanted, we have to start with where we're at. And that is our real reality. The best method that I have found to actually accept reality is to ask yourself, what if it never got any better? This is incredibly important for us INFJs because otherwise we will always think of a scenario that could be better. This is not something that should be depressing you. It's one thing that will jumpstart your journey. So really look at your life situation from an externally objective standpoint. How do you like your apartment? How do you like your friends? How do you like your other relationships? How do you like your job? How do you like, your physical energy? Really ask yourself those things and then ask yourself, what if they never got any better? How would I feel? What would my conclusion be? And in most cases, this will evoke a lot of pain and grief because then you recognize, oh, okay, I actually have to look at what my life currently is. Because that's the moment when you really look at reality and you start accepting it. Once you're able to accept it, you can start being appreciative of it. And once you start being appreciative of it, you can then improve it. But as long as we don't touch it because we disassociate from our reality, we're never going to be able to make the necessary changes needed to actually change our lives. So please remember this. We have to accept reality for what it is today. And from there, we can move on. Core principle number 3. We have to understand that our vision is a North Star, nothing more. So many INFJs hold on to their vision as the one thing that has to happen in order for us to be happy. And every single time we create something, we experience something that falls short to that, we feel like we failed. And so we tell ourselves, why even bother? If I can't have my vision, why even do it? Because the feeling that I want, I'm only going to have if I reach that vision. And that is something we have to change. We have to understand that our mind creates this vision, but it is in our mind. It is the thing that we project as this ultimate goal. And it's an illusion, right? It's great to have it as a North Star, something that tells us this is the direction we want to go to. These are things that are going to make me happy, as in, I like to have a friend group where everybody is, joyful. I like to have excitement in my life. I like to have a partner who makes me happy. Like all of those things, it doesn't mean that you cannot have them. But the point is that you give all of your positive emotions to that vision. And if anything falls short of that, you're going to feel bad. But the point is, you created those emotions that you attach to that vision. So what we want are those emotions. And we're going to get them by leaning towards that vision, by taking it as a North Star and understanding that it's not about reaching that vision once and for all, because that vision will change anyway all the time. It's all about improving what your reality was yesterday and not continuously telling yourself that no matter what you do falls short of that vision. Remember, those are two separate things, your vision and what your reality looks like. And if you want to create a better vision and therefore a better life, both of those things have to shift. Both of those things have to grow. And the only way for your vision to grow is if your current real life grows. So focus on that. How am I improving to the version of myself that I was yesterday or the week before? And am I improving on the terms and those areas that are important to me and not what society dictates to me? And if you're making that improvement, you're leaning towards that vision. You're getting closer to it. But that vision will always stay ahead of you because guess what? The closer you get to your initial vision, the more that vision nowadays will have altered from the vision it was before. When you change your reality, you absorb new information, new ideas, new possibilities, and so your vision grows as well. You're not meant to reach your vision. You will never reach it because today's vision will be a different one than you have 5 days from now or 5 months from now once you've gone towards that. So always keep this in mind. You're not meant to reach that vision. It's a North Star. But the real work happens here today in the real world. Core principle number 4 is all about defining a self-image. We as INFJs, we alter ourselves based on, people that we're around. There are certain individuals that we act this one way with, and then we're a different version of ourselves when we're with somebody else. That's the reason why sometimes it feels so hard for us to combine friendship groups, because then this fear arises of, they will see that I'm a different version when I'm with another person. But there has to be a part of you that is never part of a debate. You have to define something that will stay with you no matter what. Because if we open ourselves up to every kind of possibility, we'll also be able to fall for everything. We need to have roots one way or another. They don't have to be really strict or really hard or really deep. They don't have to be this way, but there has to be something about you that this is the way I want to be, this is the way I want to see myself, and this is the way I demand others to see me if I have a rapport with them. For me, that meant I had to really come to terms with the fact that I'm not going to be a damsel in distress. I thought for the longest time I had to be that in order for people not to be afraid of me, to like me, to accept me. And then I recognized, well, this is not who I am. I am a strong individual. I am somebody who, goes and gets what she deserves. I am a warrior. That's part of my identity. And I want to be that. I want to embody that. And from that moment forward, I decided I'm not going to have any closer psychological relationships with people who cannot accept this aspect of me. Because there are people like this who cannot be around you when you're that version of yourself because it makes them feel bad. And because we INFJs can alter ourselves, because we can play a role, we very often bend to those things. But if you bend every single time, you will not ever figure out what it is that makes you you. You will not figure out what makes you happy. You won't be able to continuously create the life that you want because it all has to start with you. There has to be a part of you that is never up for debate. If you need inspiration, look at movie roles, look at, archetypes, whatever it may be. But make sure that you lean into this version of yourself who's going to be the same person with whomever she or he is around. Yes, you can have little deviations here and there, but the closer a person comes to you psychologically, the clearer it has to become, this is who I am and I'm not changing that. And core principle number 5, make it your goal to be proud of yourself. When it comes to self-love, everybody says you have to love yourself for who you are, not for what you're doing. But this is easier said than done. What I have found works really, really well for INFJs is to actually start relying on oneself. There's nothing that makes you feel more in control than learning to rely on yourself, to know that you're keeping the promises you make to yourself. That's why when we work in boot camp or through the audio guide, one of the core things we always say, aim for success stories. You have to experience over and over again that when you set out to do something, you actually do it. And if you can't, make smaller steps. There's no step that's small enough. Because then you recognize the thing that keeps you excited on this journey is not the fact that you're going to reach some external goal. And those feelings are always going to be fleeting. This is always going to be something that is only temporary. The thing that's going to continue to motivate you on your journey so you want to grow and you want to do it on your terms will be that you continuously prove to yourself, I set out I was going to do it and I did it. And that's what makes me feel good. That's why I like myself. That's what makes me proud of myself. And I won this day. And now I can relax and enjoy everything else that is happening. Remember, if you want some more guidelines on how to kickstart your INFJ Epic Life journey, then get the free poster on the formula to an INFJ Epic Life. And if you want to take to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video, How the INFJ Bypasses Everyone.